Hello, I'm Jennifer McGuire, a non-traditional student pursuing my first bachelor's degree. I have 10 years of graphic and web design and publishing experience and over 25 years of technology, office, and management experience, including time in educational institutions. I began my professional career with a heavy focus in office productivity, administrative support, and emerging technologies. In leadership roles, I managed a housekeeping service in Dallas for 11 years and co founded an Australian publishing house, serving as the senior digital media manager for 6 years. I have worked at Dallas College Mountain View since 2014 in various roles, utilizing all of my technology, troubleshooting, design, and support experience in serving the needs of the institution. I received an Associate's of Applied Science in Business Information Technology in 1997. My college counselor told me at the time that most of my credits would not transfer to a bachelor's degree and I would basically be starting over. I felt defeated and decided to work with the degree that I had earned. So fast forward 20 years, and I found myself tired of being someone's administrative assistant. I took a chance and applied for an entry-level instructional technology position, and I was lucky enough to get it. And a few months into my new job, I realized that I love the field of instructional technology and design. I also realized if I wanted to advance, I needed a bachelor's degree. This is what led me to this program. A little about me. I'm a huge nerdy fangirl. I love Disney and go to Disney World as much as I can. I also love all kinds of sci-fi and fantasy like Star Wars, Star Trek, Harry Potter, Supernatural, and Doctor Who. There are many more fandoms I love, but too many to name. My biggest nerd moment was when my boss called me Yoda because my title was way too long to remember. I'm a huge book nerd, which that publishing position was a dream come true for me. But I am never without my phone or iPad handy, so I can always have lots of books ready to read. Authors are my rock stars, and my favorites are Helena Hunting, Cora Riley, and J.R. Ward. I've held various leadership roles in work and in school organizations. I served as an officer in my college's chapter of Phi Theta Kappa for 2 years. My main goal for being an officer was to improve my scholarship applications, but I soon realized that the leadership experience that I gained was more valuable than any scholarship I could earn. Through this experience, I learned to work with people of various age ranges and backgrounds. I was 20 years older than the rest of my team, and they would always look to me for guidance. Most of them were the same age as my oldest child. So I realized quickly, in order for each of us to develop our leadership skills, that they would need to not rely on my experience. So whenever they would look at me to start a discussion or solve a problem, I would pose questions to the team that would get them thinking about solutions or plans rather than asking me to do it. I also learned that I could be a team player and still be a leader while doing this. And this also led me in my last year at my community college to apply to be a student ambassador, which are basically the student leaders of the college. And that was a wonderful experience because I got to be the person who met important people that came on campus whenever we had speakers or visitors. And I would get to show them around and talk with them and spend time with them. So it was really an invaluable experience. It helped me improve my public speaking skills because 9 times out of 10, I was one of the people introducing the speakers. So it was another great experience. So being an officer in Phi Theta Kappa and a student ambassador helped my leadership skills in that I was more comfortable working with a variety of people. We've had some pretty important people come on campus that I got to interact with, and it built my confidence. And also it's helped my public speaking skills because I was usually the one introducing the guest speakers on campus. and even had to help lead some activities on campus that required me to get in front of everyone and give a little bit of information about the activity or the event. So it helped tremendously. My favorite leadership role at work was as the senior digital media manager for the publishing company. I managed a team of graphic artists and had to ensure that projects were distributed fairly and that I matched artistic style and personalities with the authors. I was the person who had to ensure that all deadlines were met and be flexible when it was necessary. This was not an easy job. I was the person who had to settle disagreements between authors and designers. Working with two artistic types and getting them to agree on a shared vision would sometimes end up with creative negotiating to ensure both the author and the designer were happy with the final product. I've been surprised by all of the courses throughout this program. I think the one that really did not surprise me was data-driven decision making. I'm not a numbers person, which is really kind of odd because at one point I wanted to be an accountant, but I'm not a math person. Even though accounting is math, it's not the same as regular math. But the data-driven decision making, it was a little too numbers for me. And I struggled with those courses. But I think the ethics courses were the ones that really surprised me and were not what I expected. I've always considered myself an ethical person. I know right from wrong, and I always work to be on the right side of the situation. And I thought these courses would be very straightforward, talking about right and wrong, giving some ethical dilemmas that we needed to discuss and talk about why they were wrong or right ethically. And so it was interesting to go into ethics from an organizational perspective rather than a personal one. What I might think of as unethical in an organization is actually thought out extensively and can be ethical according to the organizational structure and industry standards. I was surprised with the Ford Pinto case study. Just immediately, not really reading into the case, but the little summary, I was like, oh, Ford was the wrong party in the situation. There's no way they didn't act. There's no way they didn't act ethically. So I went in with my biased opinion that Ford was wrong. Through the research that I conducted and the concepts that I learned during the course, I realized the ethics aren't always straightforward. And Ford wasn't the evil corporation the media made them out to be. So I like that the ethics courses have taught me to take a step back and take my personal bias out of everything and do the research and find out what are all the facts in the case, not only from the industry and the organization, but also the wronged parties. Yeah. In the Ford case, yeah, the wrong parties, the people who lost loved ones through the accidents, that was, sure, they're wronged. But when I learned the industry standards and how Ford wasn't the only one facing these problems, but they were the ones that were most publicized, and they did nothing wrong. They followed industry standards. I had to really change my tune. So I enjoyed learning all of that. So I don't face many struggles as a student. Writing papers or compositions, it comes pretty easy for me. If I'm presented with a clear topic and structure, I can usually make my notes and start writing, fairly quickly and easily. I usually manage my time well, but at the same time, I'm a procrastinator. I tend to wait until the last minute to get things done. The biggest drawback is that I feel like I rush my work and stress that I don't do the best work possible. So I will turn in my work and then worry that my work was not good enough to pass. And usually I end up passing. And that was undue stress. But I could have probably finished this program during the fall 2 term if I hadn't procrastinated in each term. So I basically completed the 2 minimum courses per term when I could have probably done at least 3 each term. But being a wife, a mother, a full-time employee, plus part-time, I teach part-time and I do freelance graphic design and book formatting part-time. So I kind of let that get in the way and keep me from pushing and getting through the program quicker. Luckily, my husband knows I procrastinate and he nudges me gently to try and keep me on task. In fact, this past week where I work, it's spring break. So, and it was our first week of these classes. And I told my husband, I said, I'm going to get in and I'm going to get my work done. And did I do it? No. I got my video speech prepared, but I didn't take the time to prepare my appearance to be able to record my video. So I waited until I'm back on a work day where I have to look nice for work and I can't just be in my pajamas. So again, I procrastinated, even though my husband was nudging me all week. Have you worked on your classes? Have you done your video? So I'm not really sure what you as an instructor could do to assist me with my tendency to procrastinate. Just know that I'm there. I know my deadlines and I'm working through them as best as I can. I'm working on my procrastination and hopefully hopefully I can get that under control. But that's pretty much me. I look forward to all of the fun challenges this capstone course has to offer, and hopefully I won't procrastinate and I'll get it done sooner rather than later. Thank you.